loves, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video today. So as you can see here, I will be showing you guys how to make a baby boy blanket using the block stitch. So if you're clicking on this video because that's what you would like to learn how to do, please continue to watch the video because that is exactly what we'll be doing. Now, as you can see here, these colors are absolutely stunning. I did not buy the colors and then connected it. I had the colors come like this. This yarn is a self-changing color and it's absolutely stunning. So I will tell you guys a little bit about it. So it is a Lion's brand ice cream big scoop. That's what it's called. I didn't make that up. They call it that. It's a lightweight number 3. They're recommending a 5mm crochet hook, 100% acrylic, and it's about 284 yards. The color is called Blueberry. This is absolutely stunning. I love this yarn because you don't have to go buy all these different colors and connect it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So if you're looking to just buy like 3 colors and then do your blankets like that, absolutely. And I do that sometimes too, but for just something simple and quick, I'll go and grab one of these, and you can choose whatever combination of colors that you want. For making a baby boy blanket, this was perfect to have these colors like this. Now I will be showing you guys how to do the blanket today, but let me just show you guys quickly other things that I made as a set with this. So I decided to make a little nice beanie for a baby as well, and matching booties. So you guys, these are so cute. Look at this. What I'll do is I'll do a part 1 with the blanket because I don't want to combine all of these things into one video. It will just make such a long video. Nobody wants to watch a movie to learn how to crochet. So I'll do a part 1 with the blanket, part 2 with the hat, and then part 3 with the booties here. So I'm just gonna go put these away. We'll talk more a little bit about it when I actually get these videos going, but for today we're gonna be concentrating on the baby blanket. I'm gonna be demonstrating to do this with just a sample, so we're not actually gonna be making the full blanket on this video, but I'll be doing a block stitch sample and how I did the border, because as you guys can see here, the border here is a continuation of the block stitch as well, just so it kind of goes together with it, and it kind of simplifies the project as well. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so for the sample, because I ran out of the yarn to make all the things, I made the baby blanket, the hat and the booties, and of course I ran out of that particular color of yarn, or that particular yarn itself, so I'm substituting it by using this to do the sample. This is from Loops and Threads. It's called Snuggly Wuggly. It's so cute, such a cute name, and it's a baby yarn as well. It's super soft. What else can I tell you about this particular yarn? And also, of course I will also put all the description for this yarn in the description box, just in case you like this color and you want to make the baby blanket in just this blue color like that. It's a lightweight number 3. Recommendation hook size is 4mm crochet hook. It is 100% acrylic as well. And what else can I tell you here? I cannot see anything else that you guys need to know, but I will put everything in the description box for you guys. The other thing that I'm using for this tutorial is a 4.25mm crochet hook. I know it's odd. You probably don't see this kind of size very often, but it is a 4.25mm crochet hook that I'll be using. And you'll be needing a tape measure in case you need to know how big you want your blanket to be, and of course you will need your scissors as well to cut your yarn. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get this started. Okay guys, so to get the sample started, I will just quickly talk about how big the baby blanket is. So I actually made a baby blanket, into a square. So there, it's 37 by 37 inches. Okay, I did about 33 rows total. It's actually 32, but the border made it 33. When I started the project, I went with 141 chains, which, so you do I guess a multiples of 4 chains, and then you add 1 at the end. Okay, so it was 140 chains total, and then I added 1 to make it 141, and that's how big I got for that blanket. So of course, if you're looking to do a much bigger blanket or a smaller blanket, the number of stitches is going to be really less or more, but as long as you're doing the multiples of 4 plus 1. So with that said, I'm going to do a multiples of 4 plus 1 for the sample. So I'm going to do 32 chains plus 1 to make it 33 chains. Okay, so let's get that started. So I'm going to do my slip knot just like so, and then I'll go ahead and get my chain of 33 get going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that is my chain of 33. Okay, so this is a nice sample size because you'll be able to see all the details nicely. And to get the first row of this started, we're going to do a single crochet in this back in the back of the chain. So as you can see, these little bumps here is where we're going to be working into. Okay, and we're going to start our single crochet from the second chain from the hook. So this, not this one here, but this one here. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead in the back of it, and we're going to do our single crochet just like that. And then you're going to continue to do this all along the chain back to where we started it off. Just continue to do your single crochets in the back like so. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you guys when you get to the end of this chain right here. Alright guys, so I have completed the first row of the single crochet here. So I have 32 stitches all together. Okay, now we have created the base on where we're going to be working on to do the block stitch. Okay, now for the next row, what we will do is you're going to go ahead and do a chain 1, turn your work, and then in this very first stitch, just right after the chain 1, you're going to do a single crochet there. Okay, and then you're going to do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then what you're going to do is you're going to count the stitches. So you're going to skip this stitch right here, you're going to skip this stitch right here, and in this third stitch you're going to do a single crochet stitch just like that. Okay, and then you're going to do a chain 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, in the third one do your single crochet. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to continue to do this until you get to the end of this row. So go ahead and do that when you get to the end of your row. So if you're doing the full blanket, then you have a long way to go. Then you can come back when you reach at the end of this row by continuing to do this chain 3, skip 2 stitches, in the third stitch do your single crochet. Okay, so I'll see you at the end. Okay guys, so that's the end of our second row there. So as you can see, all we did is just create these little spaces where we're going to finally do our boxes into, and then you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, you're going to turn your work. Okay, and now to create our box, which we're going to be working into this space here, we're going to do a treble crochet into the box. So 1, 2, that's how you do your treble crochet. You loop it on your hook twice like that, go into this big gap, bring it back. Okay, you should have 4 loops on the hook like that, yarn over, go through the first 2, you should have 3 left, yarn over, go through the next 2, you should have 2 left, yarn over, go through the final 2. Okay, so we just did our first treble crochet in the box, and we're going to do 2 more. Actually, you're going to do 3 more. So that's the second treble crochet, that's the third treble crochet, and then that's the fourth treble crochet. Okay, now let me just finish that. Now if you look at it like this, you will see that it looks like there's 5 treble crochets because you have your first chain 3 before you turned. So this first row here is always going to look like there's 5. Now we're going to repeat that in this next box here. So we're going to do our next treble crochet in that into that space. Okay, and we're going to do 4 treble crochets total. So that's 1, and this is my second one, and then my third, and then finally I'm gonna do my 4th. Okay, so that's my second box right there. So this was the first, this is the second. Okay, now you're going to continue to do this until you get to the end of your row. Okay, so go ahead and do that. When you get to the end, come back and I'll show you guys how to go ahead and start the next row. Okay guys, so we're at the end of this first row of the block stitch. So as you can see here, that's what it should look like so far. And by the way, I'm putting it down like this because as you can see, it kind of curves a little bit. Don't worry about that. That's gonna fix itself as you go, so don't put too much energy on that. Okay, now I've done my block stitch right here, which is the 4 treble crochets in the box. And then we're going to do one more thing. We're going to do a double crochet on top of the section where we started the last row of doing the chains and then skipping 2. Okay, so you go ahead and do a double crochet. So you're not doing a treble crochet, you're doing a double crochet, and it makes it have that look. And now you guys will see why I left that there and have 4 treble crochets and it looked like 5 treble crochets together here, but it's because we want to match it to this side like that. Okay, now so that's just a side note. Now to go ahead and start our next row, we're going to do a chain 1, turn our work, and then in this very first stitch here we're going to do a single crochet like that, and then we're going to do our chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to skip all the treble crochets that you did, and in this space that separates the different boxes, you're going to do your single crochet there like that. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're generous with the looseness of your chains. Don't make it too tight. Okay, so you're going to do it like that, and then you're going to do a chain 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to go ahead and do that. So you're going to do these all along your row until you get to the end. When you get to the end, come back and I will show you guys how to start our next row of the block stitch. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, you guys, so I am at the end of my row here, as you can see. Now, as you can also see, this is starting to straighten itself up again. Like I said, if it was curving in like this, don't worry about it. As you can see, it's gonna start to straighten itself. Okay, so I've just done my final chain 3 here, and then in the between the last treble crochet and the double crochet we did from the previous row, you're going to go in there to do your single crochet just like that. Okay, there you go. And then you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and then you're going to do your treble crochet. So you're going to do your 4 treble crochets in the big gap that we just created with the chain 3. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so as you guys can tell, this is now a repeat row. So the repeat is you're going to create your spaces to do your block stitches by doing the chain 3, do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then to do the actual block stitch itself, you go ahead and do treble crochets. In the first, you do 4, you do 4, you do 4 all along, and then when you get to the end, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to so chain 1, turn, do a single crochet in the very first stitch after you chain 1, and then you go ahead and do your chain 3, skip your block stitch. In the gap between the block stitch, you do your single crochet. Okay, so that is pretty much the repeat for this project, and you're going to do this until you have the size of the blanket that you're looking for. So depending on how long or how big you want your blanket to be, please go ahead and create the number of rows that you require to get to that size. When you have it, come back to the video and I'll show you guys how to do how to do the block stitch border. And I'm going to work my sample a little bit more so you have enough size to kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I have completed my sample, so I'm not gonna go any further, and because this is just a sample, I'm gonna stop here. So as you can see, this is how your work should look like so far. It's beautiful. These blocks just look so awesome. They look like they're stacked on top of each other, and that's how it should look. So I'm just gonna bring my work back into the frame here. So this is because of the change in colors here. These obviously look a lot more beautiful. Let me just quickly change. Okay, there you go. So because of these different colors that you see here, it just comes off a lot more like stunning compared to this. Like this is beautiful too, don't get me wrong, but because it's just one solid color like that, it doesn't have the beauty of this. So I would really recommend, if you're looking to make something that has a lot more appeal to the eye, to get this kind of color so that you have this like changing of the blanket, and it just makes it looks really really good. Okay, so I have done my block stitch right here. Okay, I did my 4 treble crochets in that gap, and then of course, just like we've been doing in every row, we're going to do a double crochet stitch in that final stitch here, just like that. Okay, so that's how it's gonna look. And then all I did, you guys, to do this, create this border. So as you can see here, the block stitch ends like that, and that's absolutely beautiful. And so what I did was so I'm not doing any border on top. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to be doing the border on the side, this side here, the bottom, and then this side. So that way it all kind of evens out with this side here, because you can see right now, this side has a completely different look from the sides and the bottom. Okay, so to do so after I finish my last block, then I do my double crochet stitch in the final stitch there. I literally don't do anything else but literally go into a treble crochet. But what I do is, there's this double crochet that we did in every row. Before you do your block stitch, you do a double, or at the end of your block stitch, you do a double crochet. And I pretty much go between my double crochet and my block stitch there, or my treble crochets, and I do a treble crochet like that. And I'll go ahead and do 4 treble crochets total into this box. So as you can see, I just literally go ahead and do that. So this is not complicated at all, and of course you don't have to do borders for your work, or you can look up, there's a lot of nice videos that will show you how to do different borders than what I'm doing here. Okay, now that I have done my 4 treble crochets there, I'm going to then just continue and do the next treble crochet in the next gap that we're working into, and I'm going to do my box stitch there as well. There you go. So that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. So this is pretty much what I'm doing all along. So your corners are going to look like that, and I really love that. Not very sharp corner, a little bit curved in like that. I love that it ends like that. Okay, and you're going to do this until you get to here. So go ahead and finish going all the way to the bottom, because if you're doing a full blanket, then you literally have a lot more to go. So I'll go ahead and finish this here. When I get to this end, I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do the corner and then how to work on this side, because as you can see, it looks completely different. That's where we did our first row, which was a single crochet row. Okay, you guys, so I am at the corner here. So I just finished doing my last box stitch right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work 4 treble crochets into this very corner here. So you just go into the very corner where you started your work right there, and you do your 4 treble crochets to create your box in the corner. Okay, so as you can see, I'm working on my second one here, third, and then finally I'm going to do my 4th, just like that. Okay, and now to work on this side here, which is the bottom side, I'm pretty much gonna do the same thing where I go right into the treble crochet, but I'm not gonna go into this first stitch here. I'm going to go into this, actually in this first stitch I'm going to do 2 treble crochets, and in the second I'm gonna do 2 treble crochets. So just like that. So we're not going into the actual one second, let me just redo this one here. So treble crochet into this gap here like that, then another one into the same space, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next stitch and do 2 more treble crochets there. And the reason I did this is to space them out a little bit, because I don't have a big gap on this side to work on. So then putting every single stitch in the same, every single treble crochet into the same gap will just look really tight and sucked in. So I spread it out by doing 2 per space, and then I'm going to skip this stitch here, and in the next one, which is this one here, I'm going to do my treble crochet there as well. So 2, like I said, in that gap, in that stitch, sorry, and then 2 in the next stitch. So that way it has a little bit of a spaced out look to it, which then gives you the look of the, oops, that's a double crochet. Let's redo that last one, because we want to do a treble crochet. So it does give you the look of a treble crochet like this. So when you do it into a big gap, they all go into the same space, but because we don't have that spacing on this side, we do 2 in one and then do 2 in the next. So as you can see, that's how it should look, and that's how your corners look. So as you can see, they're not sharp at all. They actually kind of round in really nicely on the edges. And so you're going to do this all along the bottom here. When you get to the end, you do the same thing we did in this corner by doing your 4 treble crochets in the very corner stitch here. And then because we have these gaps on this side, you're going to repeat what we did on this side, which is working into these spaces. Okay, so I'll let you guys go ahead and finish working your borders, which means go all the way along the bottom of your work. Do your 4 treble crochets in the corner. Go ahead and start your next treble crochet or your box stitch here, then your box stitch here, your box stitch here, your box stitch here, your box stitch here, and then that's the end. So when you get to the very last box stitch here, come back and we will review our work together and the project should be done. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so we are at the end of this project here. So as you can see, if this was your full baby blanket, it would look just like this, but in a much bigger size. So as you can see, the borders are nice and rounded up like that, and this is why I wanted to continue to do the block stitch as a border as opposed to doing a completely different stitch, because it just completes the work very nice and neatly. So right now we're looking at this work upside down, but if we were to look at it, actually we're looking at it the right way, this way first. So this is pretty much where we started our work at the bottom here. As you can see, this is where we started our chain, and then we worked pretty much from this row like that, and then this is the border stitch that goes around like this. Okay, so this is the border right here. So I think it looks really nice. So what I did at the end here is pretty much I did my block stitch right in the gap here, and then I did my final double crochet stitch in that final stitch here, and then that's it. So what we would do here is pretty much, I'm not gonna cut the yarn off because I need to have this yarn nice and clean for another project. But so what I would pretty much do is cut this yarn off here and then fasten it off and then weave it in, and it's done. And this is how our baby blanket would look like. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring back into the view here the actual blanket that we have already completed. So this is what I'm talking about. The borders are very nice and rounded in like this, and this is, like I said, the colors, the changing colors like this make it a lot nicer looking than the one solid color like this, at least in my opinion. Maybe if you like the one solid color, you can go for it like that, but for me, I just love how this blanket changes the color like that. Okay, so this is going to be where I end the video. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching and staying to the end. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is going to be a set. These are the booties that I made, and this is the beanie that I made for the baby. And I did mention that this is going to be more fitted for a 0 to 3 months baby, but you can only obviously make this a little bit bigger just so they can go for a little bit of an older child in terms of months. So anyways, if you want to learn how to make this whole thing as a set, please watch the second part of this video, which would be to learn how to make the beanie. And then the third video, the third part is going to be how to make these nice, beautiful, cute booties for the baby boy here. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next video, but before you go, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment and just say what you think about it, or just to say hi or whatever you want to say. Put something in the comments below. And also don't forget to put the notification bell on so that you don't miss any other future videos that I'm going to be putting. Especially if you're looking to do this as a set, it's probably best to subscribe and then hit the notification bell, because you will then get notices when I post these things up. Okay, all right, thank you so much again, and I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao, ciao.